Thank you again for joining me today in our discussion about resilience, our self-discovery journey, individually yet collectively, about resilience. These are your 500 seconds. This is your daily urgency meeting about how important to me resilience is, that we all have. I'm inviting you to at least consider defining it, maintaining it, refreshing it, and of course, sharing your resilience with those you like and love. Today's topic is called Statement by Omission. Statement by Omission. I have mentioned in earlier podcasts about we don't think. We really don't think. And when you get a chance, please check out the book by Mr. U.S. Anderson, The 3 Magic Words. But I mentioned the not thinking, that we can only observe, choose, and decide upon things that come across our minds and our hearts, and then to express them. That's our duty here. That is our function, not to think of creative things. The creation part is already done. We only have to observe, choose, and decide, and deal with the consequences of our choices. We are still communicating throughout that process. Observing, choosing, deciding. We're still communicating. Whether you do it or don't do it, we're always communicating something in that process. So even when you don't overtly communicate something, your presence is, like a better term, present. And your presence exists whether knowingly or unknowingly to you. You present something all the time, every moment, every day, something. And actually, you present everything about you. Perhaps not all witnesses of you can discern the full picture and content of you. If they don't, they will fill in those blanks of facts with assumptions and judgments anyway. But you still make a statement, whether you're in your house, in your closet, or out in public. And to whom, you might say, am I presenting this statement to? You are presenting it to yourself and to your God or higher power every day, every moment, every breath. Now, neither one of those can you hide from, either whether you're at home or out in the world. Even the idea of omitting anything from your presence has no basis in reality. Presuming you have verified your own presence and purpose. I'm making an assumption here. Let me just presume that you know what your presence looks like, feels like, smells like. You know your own presence. At least to yourself, you can confirm that. Or maybe today, you're doing that for the first time, confirming, defining your own presence. Of course, have you defined or refined your desire and drive for that presence? And maybe that's the rub. You may know it and feel it, but maybe you rarely state it to yourself, like stating yes, positive, love to yourself, just as reminders or maybe a restart on that resilience thing I keep talking about. And that word supreme, like that tune by the master of music to me, John Coltrane. That tune called Love Supreme. Great song, great album actually, a great man. But that thing has to be stated out loud, and even write it to yourself, reminding yourself of it. Otherwise, if you don't do that, If I don't do that, I have omitted the recognition and awareness of the essence of consistency. Remember to observe and communicate for your resilience. That process, the key core model process in the book: observation, communication, presence, and resilience. Of course, almost before that or in conjunction with that process that you can come back to on a regular basis, that definition and that main question of the book: what drives you? If you can recall a couple weeks ago about even the precursor or the raw material that I expressed to you about something we can all get around, your desire. We all have desires, good, bad, indifferent, ugly, positive, sexual, sport, food, water. We all have desires. Not all of them are scripted out and written out and presented in a nice book for us to follow, or a handbook or a guideline, but we all have desires. But that desire, I'm asking you to define for yourself and get your hands and your heart around. What is it as the entry into your drive? So I keep saying that not to be repetitive or to be redundant, but remember the essence of your word to yourself. I mean, back in the day, I'm probably dating myself, maybe 34 years ago, we had a saying on the, let's say on the street, but in the Army, and even in the early 80s and 90s, we always would say to ourselves, people I knew very well, your word is your bond. Your word is your bond. Of course, that was written thousands of years ago in the Bible about the word, with God, and it was there before anything happened. But even in our present day, the word is our bond still should have some viability, some relevance, importance, supreme importance about how important it is to measure that. And that word, that statement, even if you didn't make it overtly as a statement, you're still presenting it. It comes through in your presence, whether you say it or not. To remember the words that are echoing inside of you, that are coursing in your body, that was deposited in you, that I'm offering you the suggestion to self-discover that word in you. And don't omit it. Make it happen knowingly. Right now, it comes through in your presence whether you know it or not. Remember the essence of your word to yourself, and that statement that you make either overtly or covertly or by omission is worth your time and your patience. Thank you again. Stay present, stay current, stay productive. It is always 8:20.